Do you, like me, find yourself struggling to manage your budget and to manage your finances effectively? Well, today you're in the right place because we're going to be looking at the 30-30-30-10 budgeting method. That's three 30s, I said, right? Three threes, nine. Yes. The 30-30-30-10 budgeting system that is a total game changer. You might have been accustomed to the 50-30-20 method that I mentioned in previous videos, but today we're going to be changing it up a bit and I'm going to be going through the benefits of each one. So let's go. Welcome back to my channel, everyone. The Next Level Life Hacks, where we take the next steps needed to grow towards our financial freedom and our success. Thank you again for clicking on this video. I appreciate the comments, the likes, the subscriptions. I know you had a choice, so therefore I appreciate you choosing to click on this video today. Now let's get into the meat of the matter. Now, as I mentioned before, we've all been there that we're wondering if we're doing an effective job in budgeting and setting up ourselves for the best financial success or future. Now, we're going to be looking at budgeting because remember, as I said in previous videos, the most successful persons financially are those that have been able to document a budgeting system so that they dictate the terms and they dictate where their money is going to be used on a monthly basis, instead of just having it going laissez-faire, whereby you will just be spending on a monthly basis and your money is going to be directing itself. If it is that you have specific objectives financially that you need to obtain, whether in the short, medium, or long term, then you need to develop a budget. Now, this system, known as the 30-30-30-10 method, is one that is going to be directing you and is going to be assisting you in setting up yourself for financial success. So what exactly is the 30-30-30-10 method? Let's go through each one of the 30s first. The first 30 is going to be for your housing. And this is going to be anything that dictates to whether it's going to be a mortgage, rental, anything like that. The second 30 is going to be towards your necessities. So this is going to be anything like your internet, your gas, your phone bill, your groceries. The third 30% is going to be made up of your financial goals. This entails things like your savings, debt repayments, investments that you might have. It can also include any retirement funds that you have, whether a pension plan or a 401k, things like that. Then the 10% is going to be on what your wants. And of course, we always say there needs to be a balance in life, because if you're just going to be saving, spending on the necessities, your housing, and you are not going to be doing things that you really like, your wants, pleasure, then it's not going to be sustainable. Anything that is too rigid is not sustainable, including diets. And I can tell you about some of those rigid diets that I fall off in no time, gain back all the weight and more. So therefore, anything too restrictive, it's not going to work. Now, apart from looking at the specific categories of what each 30 and the 10 stands for, I'm going to be giving you some realistic examples because, as you know, I like to bring things home so it can resonate and you can identify with the strategy. Now, as an averages, your pay might be a little bit lower, much lower, or it can be a little bit higher, much higher, or it can be just about the amount that I'm going to be using. And I'm going to be using 4,000 US dollars as the average income to do some calculations and to give you some examples. Now, for the 30-30-30-10 method, as I mentioned in the introduction, previously I spoke about the 50-30-20. In the follow-up video that I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be giving you the comparison to see which one might be better for your life situation, because each of them has its pros and cons, and when I review those pros and cons in the upcoming video, then you can see which one is most suitable for you. But in this strategy, it's going to be more suited for persons who want to do a heavier investment in terms of the savings, and they want to cut back a bit in terms of their wants and their leisure spending. Now, this strategy can be beneficial depending on where you are and what stage you are in life. If it is that you are at a younger stage where you want to go aggressively into savings because you want to set up yourself financially for a retirement fund, then this strategy will work. If it is that you're running out of time and you're getting older, like me, and might not be comfortable with the amount that you have invested for your retirement, then this strategy, which goes a little bit heavier on savings and investment, might be more suitable for you. So this strategy is where I would put myself in terms of getting more aggressive in savings, because hey, anybody want to be working until 65, 70, then have just a few more years to be really enjoying your savings, then all your money be going to what? Family, kids charity. No, I want to enjoy my money while I have it. I want to stop working well before I'm 65 and start enjoying life. As I said in previous videos, middle age is 35. The Bible promises you 70, which is 70. Therefore, middle age is really 35. Therefore, after 35, you are starting on a decline in terms of health. Years left, you might have lived more years than you have left. And you also have to bear in mind that for every year you live over 70, then that is borrowed time. That is more than you were actually promised by the Bible. All right, so let's get going. So let's look at, in using the 4,000 earning example, we're going to be looking at the first 30%, and this is housing. So if we're using the $4,000 average, we're going to be seeing that that's approximately $1,000, not approximately, it's going to be $1,200 towards your housing. Remember, this is rent or mortgage, depending on your life situation. What is your housing cost? Now, guess what? And this is where it comes in handy, where they said if you're married, or two hands can clap. If both of you are combining your finances, then you would simply double these amounts. So whereby you think, hey, 1,200, what kind of rental or mortgage you could get with that? Bear in mind that if you are a couple, you have your partner that you're living together with, then this amount is doubled, and hey, you could be living a higher standard of living. So in this category, as I mentioned, we're going to be putting your rental, your mortgage payment, we're going to be putting your property taxes as well. And as well, we're going to be putting your home insurance amount here. Let's do a quick little breakdown. So if, for example, we say rent or mortgage, we're putting 1,000. Remember, 2,000 if you have a partner sharing expenses with. Then home insurance, we put at like $100. Property taxes like at 50, and maintenance, because remember, especially if you are a homeowner, then you're going to be having some maintenance that you need to do. And bear in mind that if you do not do maintenance, then you're going to be having repairs. No maintenance leads to repairs. Now we're going to be putting $50 here. Now you can adjust this as you see fit. Remember, not every month you might have some of these things. Like every month you might not have to do a maintenance costing. But however, you can tweak this as you see fit. We are working again with $4,000. The second amount that we're looking at are necessities. What did we say the necessities are? Anything you cannot live without and have to be spending on. So you need electricity. You need internet. I know I need internet. You need your phone access and service. You need transportation. We need to eat food. So groceries. A lot of my money goes towards groceries. So some expenditure needs to be going towards groceries. And we're looking at transit. Now bear in mind, I mentioned transportation. Let's break that down a little bit more. We're looking at car payments, fuels. If you take the bus, then the transit, bus cost. Now, outside of transportation, we're also looking at healthcare. What are your premiums, co-insurance, co-pays that you have to make here? That has to be factored in because that is a necessity. Remember, your health is your wealth. And we're going to be looking at that in other videos in terms of financial growth, because it only takes one medical emergency to totally wipe you out financially. All right. Now, the next thing that we're going to be looking at is the breakdown as usual. So this again, it's 30%. We're looking at $1,200 approximately to be spread across this area. So let's look at utilities. Now, if we're looking here at your utilities, using of course that $4,000 that we are doing as an example, utilities should be somewhere at $200, groceries at $400, transportation can be $300, healthcare can be $200. No. We know that healthcare can be very expensive. If you're in a group healthcare plan as an employee, then this could probably be a safe amount to assume. And essential clothing, remember, essential clothing. For example, if you need to wear clothes to work or for going out, not these going out to parties or buying an outfit for every event, but essential clothing, underwear, shoes, shirts, pants, basic things that you need to get either your job done or to socialize. Not frequently, but to socialize. Remember, we have financial goals here, so we can't be socializing too much. Remember, again, these amounts would be doubled if you have a partner sharing expenses with. So utilities could be roughly $400. That seems realistic to me. When you put in gas, electricity, phone bills, those things, that's realistic. $800 per month, depending on your family size. Hey, that's an average amount as well that you could be spending on these things. The third 30% are financial goals, and this is where it really gets aggressive compared to the 50-30-20 budgeting method. But in this financial goals, we're going to be putting things like, as I mentioned, your savings, your investments, a retirement fund. Our retirement fund is critical, as I mentioned, because we on average are living longer over the 70 years that we were promised. And if you are living over the 70 years, then especially if you go into retirement with housing costs, that's a significant amount. And then you have to be making sure that after you stop working, then you have enough money to sustain your life. Another thing that we are looking at in this category is debt repayment, right? So let's do the breakdown again based on the $4,000 average income. Remember, if you're earning less, then you should be having less amounts going to these, especially in debt repayment. Do not take on more debts than you can manage based on your income. So let's do the breakdown. If we're doing this, then $400 should be going to savings. Then another $300 should be going towards your investment. Your retirement fund should be getting another $300, and then your debt repayment should not pass $200 based on a $4,000 income and based on this strategy. If you are over these amounts in terms of debt repayment, then you are in some problems. Now, this is where, as I mentioned before, it gets a little bit more aggressive because we are saying 30% of your income should be going to savings or investment. That's what I will have to be doing based on my age and what I want established for retirement. Then, of course, there is the nice part now, because we have to live a little. Now, the 10% goes towards your wants. And for this, the amount based on the $4,000 income is going to be $400 towards your wants. So bear in mind as well that you got to be smart, because if you want to take a costly vacation, then you could not do the wants every month, accumulate these $400. So every 3 months, you could be spending $1,200 on a vacation. $1,200 can give you a very good vacation, especially if you are wise. Use a travel service that can give you discounts, or you do your own hunting and shopping. Stay at an Airbnb like mine instead of staying at a hotel. And also, you could be looking at discounts that you could be getting. Make your money stretch. Go at off-peak season, travel on a Tuesday or a Wednesday where airfare is a little bit lower than usual, so you can make this stretch. $400, I think, on a monthly basis, and if you skip a couple months to allow it to double or triple, I think this can be worthwhile. So let's look at this again using the $4,000. So how are we going to break down this $400 into our wants? Let's look at some easy examples that we can follow. So we can look at dining out. Some persons like to do that more than others, but it will be $150 approximately that could go to dining out. We could also look at entertainment, whether it be movies, going to an aquarium, going to the zoo or a theme park. We could say that it's $100. Remember, these amounts again would double if you have a partner. Hobbies could be $100. Vacations could be $50 that you're accumulating. If you have strict and if you have aggressive savings plans, vacation should not be done frequently because they are costly. Even if you are doing it on a budget, it can quickly accumulate. So you can mix and match these amounts. If you are not dining out too much on a monthly basis, that $150 could be used to be added to your entertainment to make that $250. If you don't really have hobbies, or 1 month you're going to scale back on the hobbies and go more on the dining out because, hey, maybe it might be your anniversary or your birth month, then that $100 could then be added to the dining out experience to make that $250. So now that we have looked at those examples, I hope it will be beneficial to you. As I said, plug in what your income is, take that 30% to know what it should be for each of those categories, then take the 10% of your income, whatever it is, to know what should be the expense on your wants. As I mentioned before, the 30-30-30-10 budgeting method, it can be a game changer. Just documenting things, you will be surprised how much more organized you are, how much more things fall into place, and how much more you can be guaranteed a financial success. As I said, if it is not documented, it does not exist. If you do not have a budget, then your money is directing you on a monthly basis. You need to take back the reins and direct where your money goes to. And I strongly believe in famine now, feast later. Some persons believe in feasting now, then famine later, which is a wrong way if you want to live comfortably in the future. Now, as usual, my friends, if you have found any part of this content to be beneficial, please like, comment, subscribe, share this video with a friend who you know might benefit from the information. Also, look out for the other video, which is going to be around 2 to 3 days from now. That's going to be comparing this budgeting method with the 50-30-20 method, and I will tell you which one is more applicable for whatever stage you are in life. As usual, thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Take care.